So you come from Australia.
Yeah.
Before you came over here to the States just recently, what were you eating over there? What was your meals looking like?
Californian dates.
California dates.
We were getting most of our calories from California and we live in Australia. People say, that's crazy, you should be eating local foods. I'll tell you what, local bananas were costing $20 a kilo, which is about $11 US a pound, if you could get them. And the ones you could get were so tasteless because they've been picked so green and just absolutely just horrendous for bananas. We're like, let's just go to the States a lot earlier. Well, because what happened is we had a big storm come in, and when you grow things locally and the storm comes in and wipes it out, then see you later, your crop's gone. Importing fruit it means if there's a storm somewhere, then someone else can supply it. But when you grow everything locally and you try and eat locally and there's a storm, you starve. So when people say, oh, you got to eat local, local's good, but I'm into health, thirst, and local 10th down the list.
Well, say I come from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Shouldn't I be eating local food from Wisconsin if I'm from there?
If you want to starve. Someone said to me, oh, but you know, like, because where I grew up, where I live in Australia, Big Macs are the most local food, really, year-round. Year-round, a Big Mac is the most local calorie source you can get. We have stone fruit and grapes and figs in the summer, and we have a bit of oranges in the winter, but not enough to really get your calories from. So if I lived on just local fruits, which I did once, and my energy just dropped down because I couldn't get sufficient calories. And I knew that was what the problem was, so I just started adding in dates from California and bananas from the other part of our country, and energy went back up. So I tell people, forget eating local, focus on health and fitness and performance, and focus on getting caloric sufficiency, and fruits we know are the most health foods for humans. I tell people, if you can't get enough fruit, then yeah, eat rice, eat lentils, whatever, but fruit's always going to be the best bet. So if I was in a situation of, if I had rice or fruit, and the rice was local but the fruit was imported, I'm going to have the fruit because I feel better on the fruit.
What about the environmental impact of shipping fruit?
It's so small. I mean, the biggest problem we have in the world today is deforestation and people eating animals and getting cancer, heart disease, obesity, depression, schizophrenia, shooting each other with shotguns or nuclear weapons or whatever. You know, and growing grains, not to feed ourselves, but growing grains to feed animals so we can eat the animals, and then the kids in Africa and China and Korea are starving. And we know in the US, 95% of the soy is grown and fed to animals for livestock, for us to eat meat and stuff. And we know that 95% of the corn grown in the US is for the same reasons, to feed livestock. So I'm thinking, when I fly on a plane, look down and I see all this corn and soy growing, there's only like a small window in a big oval that's actually going to human consumption. So when someone says, oh, you know, grains are bad for the environment, it's like, yeah, grains are bad for the environment if we're using for animal consumption. We can't, you know, it takes 16 kilos of grain to produce 1 kilo of animal flesh, which is ridiculous. So fruit's always going to be the best option, 100%. And I heard someone say that recently, oh, but fruit's not good for the environment. And I'm like, why? And they said, there's going to be too many trees. That's what they actually said. There's going to be too many trees, Harley. We don't need more trees. And I'm like, we obviously haven't travelled outside of your hometown because we need more trees desperately. We're chopping trees down to grow grains, to feed the livestock, and then we're chopping down more trees to have the livestock there. And now the recent trend is chop down even more trees so we can have grass-fed livestock and grass-fed dairy. So we need like up to 30 times more land to have grass-fed. People say, no, Harley, that's not true. It is true. Look at the calories in a pound of grains. It's about 1,700 calories. Look at the calories in a pound of grass, it's about 50 calories. You've got 1,700 calories, 50 calories, do the math. It takes a lot more land to have your grass-fed animals on your plate, and they still have the problems of uric acid, adrenaline, cholesterol, excess saturated fat, problems for your health, lack of fibre, lack of vitamin C, deficient in many phytonutrients that we need for optimum health and well-being. So it just comes back to fruit, 100%, if you can get enough calories. That's the challenge. Is just finding the fruit, because we live in a society where it's like got fruit phobia. Even in the raw food world, people are fruit phobic.
Where do you think that could have stemmed from?
People just selling bull to people. People going, well, if you don't eat my fruit, then you eat my cacao bar, or you eat my chocolate bar, or you eat my McDonald's, or you'll eat my sweetened candy, whatever. So I think there's a direct, it's not a conspiracy theory, it's a fact in my opinion that certain industries have made people phobic of fruit. So people have less energy, they have more dependence on pharmaceutical companies for well-being or for caffeine for stimulation, things like that. So yeah, I mean, I can get depressed and frustrated about it, or I can get fascinated at how I can be part of the solution. And that's why I do what I do, just shout from the rooftops, eat fruit, life's cute.
How can you say it's not a theory but a fact? How have you observed this?
Just in my own self, watching myself on this fruit lifestyle and experimenting. I'm a big promoter of experimentation, of objective experimentation. Write down your calories, what you need to thrive, and then eat that from various other foods and check it, compare it.
So are you saying that regardless of your blood type, regardless of your activity level,
yeah,
if you're a human,
you need fruit.
You need fruit
to thrive. Not just to survive, but to thrive. It's like we have horses over around here. All horses eat the same. They eat grass, a bit of vegetables, a bit of fruit maybe. They all eat the same foods. A bigger horse needs more than a smaller horse. A baby horse has the breast milk and it has the grass. It still eats like a horse. Humans need to eat like humans. There's over 14 different types of blood types. The guy who wrote the blood type book, he's a scammer, he's a fraud, he's a liar. He's just marketing BS. If you read his book, you can see it. It's just full of contradictions. The first contradiction is that he totally excludes cat, dog and rat meat, which has been eaten by traditions for thousands of years. What type of blood type is best suited for cat, dog or rat meat? The book does not answer that. Why? Because the book's designed to tell rich, Westerners who have more money than sense, to tell them the good things about the bad habits, and people buy that and consume that. So the blood type diet's just debunked over and over. Dr. Clapper debunked that years ago. So if you're a human, you need human food.
What would a daily meal, what would a daily plan look like?
I'd say at least 3,000 calories. So start with 3,000 calories a day from your favourite fruits. For me, it's bananas and dates. I like these fruits because they're high calorie, they're easy to eat, and they taste delicious. And they're always ripe. A date is always ripe. A good quality banana is easy to tell. It's spotty on the outside like a cheetah. And the bananas in the US are the best in the world. They come from Mexico, Peru, Bolivia, Costa Rica, Ecuador. They're fantastic and they're easy to get organic and they're cheap as chips. So I start with bananas and dates, 3,000 calories a day from them. I start the day with a litre of water, a quart of water. What's the best water to drink? The best water to drink is the one that's easy to get. Ideally that's going to be filtered water. It can be reverse osmosis, distilled, doesn't matter, as long as you get that quart of water at room temperature into your body. Just drink it slow when you wake up, maybe take 5 or 10 minutes to drink your quart of water, and then start your day with your watermelon or your bananas or whatever fruit you like to eat in the morning, and go from there. And we want to have clear urination at least 10 times a day. So every time you have a wee, look down, it should be clear, crystal clear, and then you're getting hydrated. At least every 2 hours you want to be weeing.
And if you're not?
If it's yellow or straw, we need to drink more, definitely. And people want to say, well, I've always had yellow or straw urine my whole life, Harley. I'm like, that's right, you've been dehydrated your whole life, that's why you're missing out. That's maybe why you got the health challenges now, or the weight loss challenges, or the emotional challenges, because the dehydration just stacks up on each other. And it can take days, months, or years to catch up on dehydration, or for dehydration to catch up on us and finally break us down. So I'm always a big fan of listening to your body, but also having a template to follow, so then your body can start to work properly and then it can give you better signs. Because a lot of people's bodies aren't working properly, so they need a template to go, oh, I'm going in this direction. Because the intuition can sometimes be a little bit out just from dogma, from meat and dairy industry dogma, or status quo propaganda, or worshipping the god of public opinion. Things like that. So I'm definitely a fan of templates. Follow the template. The 10 grams of carbs per kilo body weight per day, clear urination at least 10 times a day, at least 10 hours sleep on your back per night, horizontal. That's a good template to follow, and then just things stack on top of that. So that's 30 days at least. That's a good start. People can go longer than that. I recommend people go for a long time. And then you go on other diets, go on these like calorie restriction, low carb, high fat, coffee, cacao diets, where you're just like getting dropped off the deep end in the end and trying something else. So I'm not a fan of diets, I'm a fan of lifestyles. This has got to be a lifestyle. If you're a human, you need human food.